It's Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Baguazhang, the 8 palm changes. This is the last of the series that I've been teaching on Bagua. We're going to cover all 8 of the palm changes this morning. I'm going to start with palm changes 5 through 8, which is what we've been working on, and then we'll take just a minute and we'll work on all 8. Not going to work too fast this morning, mostly. Alright, there are some demo sets that I have already recorded with a different camera so that they're clearer. And I expect to record some additional sets, some additional forms, as well as to make available some other material that I have on Bagua. So this isn't the end, it's the beginning. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that again in a minute. I need to get something, hang on. Props. Alright, I have used this rug repeatedly in Bagua class because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flowers, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5 on the Bagua. Those numbers correspond to the 8 Gua, the trigrams, 3 solid lines here, Chin, heaven, opposite 3 broken lines, Kun, earth. Right? And I'll talk about each of the other ones in another session. We want to focus on the movements and the practice of walking the circle on the pattern right now. Okay? So there's more to all of that. There's absolutely more to all of that. Not today. When we start, right, we're here. Walk the pattern. Let's get warmed up. Feet about shoulder width apart. Bend the knees. Wiggle the toes. Open the arms. Wiggle the fingers. Pull up through the crown of the head. Pull up through the center. Shoulders down. Smile. Hands circle to the front. Back around to both sides. Up along the center line. And reach out. Over the legs. Roll up. And again. Bend the knees. Keep the knees bent. Keeping the knees bent keeps the body centered. So you're not relying on your feet alone. Drop the elbows. Drop the fingers, follow the hands down. Arch through the back as you come up. One more time. 2 more times. Bend the knees. Yeah, alright. One more time, last time. Stretch up. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Don't stop. Up along the center line, I'm going to turn to my right, you turn to your left. And reach out over legs. All the way around. Keep the knees bent. Keep the weight centered. Grip with the toes just a little bit. Pull up through the arch of the foot. And come center. And go the other way. Turn to your right, I'm turning to my left. Keep the circle smooth and even. Whether it's larger or smaller, the most important thing is that it's smooth, that it's round, and that as you're moving, center, elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. And that as you're moving, everything moves. Right foot front, left foot back. Back knee open, so you should be able to pick up your heel like that. You should be able to do that. The knee should be open. It's not straight. This is straight. No, we don't want that for this. Open the toe just a little bit more. I brought my heel back a little bit so I can bend the knee. Straight down. This knee does not go past the front toes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Sink. And come on up. Other side. Again, this is open. It's not here. It's here. It's different. Sink and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Sink. And come on up. All right. Relax. Relax for a second. The small differences, what I just showed just for that one exercise, the small differences in the way that we move matter for our ability to move, the flexibility that we have when we move, right? So if your movement is stiff, it's not flexible. And particularly for Bagua, the ability to take the energy that we have, that we're building, that we're trying to create in our practice, and use it in the movement. So, just like we're here, this knee's bent over my toes. I can do this, right? Not a problem. If I'm here, I can't do that. That's where my knee goes. That's it. That's where my knee is going to go. Now, I can extend this so that I have a wider stance, a little bit wider than this. Yeah. All right. I could be here. Nice, set the heel, nice straight line. Good. I don't want it. It doesn't give, in this form, it doesn't give me an advantage. In fact, it stops me from being able to take advantage of the energy that I'm generating. That straight line has its purpose in another art. We're working let me say another way. That straight line stance is absolutely 100% correct for Shaolin Lohan. It is. It is not correct for Bagua. So we're practicing Bagua. I don't do that one over here. If I'm going to practice Lohan form, I'll practice the Lohan form, but I'm not going to practice it in my Bagua class. The same as I don't want to bring in even Taiji or Xingyi, even though I do, to my Bagua, right? Bagua should be Bagua. What is common to the internal arts, because Bagua is an internal art, what is common to the internal arts needs to be here. If it's not here, we're missing something. So, breath work, interconnections, outer body connections need to be there regardless of whether we're talking about internal or external arts. Okay? The internal workmanship and the way in which we work on developing the skill to move the Qi, to work with Jing, the energy, and to use the kinetic energy, physical real world kinetic energy that we are building as we walk the circle. We want to be able to do all that. And we have applications too, by the way. All right, all of that comes together in how we move. What's the way in which what I should do with my knee, right? It's this much difference. Paying attention to that little bit of difference gives us skill to analyze what we're doing, and it gives us the skill to adjust what we're doing. If we're paying attention to only the gross movement, just big, what am I doing, big movement, which we have to do at the very beginning, but if that's where we stop, the refinement of the movement doesn't happen. As we refine the movement, we want, well, why am I moving this way? What should I be doing here? What am I doing here? Was what I was doing correct or not? Did this has been doing all this week, right? Yesterday, I'm making mistakes, I'm correcting it, here's what happened, this is why it happened, this is what I understand. Here's how I know what I did, and here's how I know it was correct or not, right? We want to be able to do that. We do. Slowly, palm changes 5 through 8 is what we've been working on this week. Relax the breath. Pull up through the crown of the head. Wiggle the toes just a little bit so that you're not leaning out over your toes, right? So pick up your toes. Press down through the metatarsal arch and then grip just a little bit with the toes. Did you see what I was doing? Would you know what I was doing if I hadn't told you? part of the internal arts. A lot of things that you may not see that we're doing, but they're not externally visible. They're not easily externally visible. Circulate the breath through the inner Tantian, the lower Tantian. Circulate the breath through the small heavenly circle. And circulate the breath through the large heavenly circle. And one more time, breathe in. Start with palm change 5, walk all the way around, turn. Palm change 5. Nice and easy. Okay, and we want to turn at position 5. Palm change 6. At position 6, yes. Seven. Gotta go all the way around to get there. Turn. Up. Turn again. Out. Round. Palm change 8. And close. Okay. Yeah. We're going to do this a couple more times. As I'm moving around the circle, I'm paying attention to my step, right? So that as I open, and I get to here, it's palm change 5. I have a slightly different step. I end up in the same place, but I have a slightly different step if I'm walking the circle from palm change 4. And we'll look at that in just a little bit. Okay, so palm change 5, I want to end up more or less here. Palm change 7, I want to end up here, position 7. I come up short a little bit. What happened? In my step for palm change 6, my turn, when I started around, my step was not even, first 2 steps. And I opened it up, and then I got to, and I got, my right foot's here, and I need my right foot to be here so I can close. So I'm going to stop right here. Be better if I stopped here. Right? With that idea in mind, that we need to repeatedly, not just one time, not just today, but repeatedly, pay attention to our stepping, whether the step is even or not, whether we're ending up in the place that we should end up when, where's my foot supposed to be, where should my foot be on the pattern, is it there? Yes or it's a yes or no question. It's not, there's, well, yeah, maybe. No, it's a yes or no question. Am I ending up in the right place? Yes or no? If not, what happened? Why? Why does it matter? Why do we care? Man, I can step wherever I need to step, right? That's application. I can step wherever I need to step. The side benefit, the reason that behind what we're doing, we're paying attention to some particular step, some particular method, some particular technique. Keeping your foot at the same distance every time you step is a technique. That's what we do. It's part of our practice. Why? Because it gives us the ability to adjust the step as we choose. Right? We've got to make it the same in order to be able to adjust it. We don't have to, but if you do this, if you practice keeping your step even, you will magically and automatically get the benefit of being able to adjust your step. It comes with. It does. The human learning process, the activity that we go through in trying to, I'm going to go back over here. I'm here. I want my step to be the same as I come across. I'm going to go across. I want my step to be the same. Right? I don't want my right foot. Step is not the same. Here. Right. Left. Right. Left. It's not the same. We don't want that. I'm going to extend one, I need to extend the other. That sliding step that we use, the sliding hook step that we use in Bagua, we want the footwork to be smooth and even. We want it to be the same. There are times, right, as we close, as we turn, right, and come around, my footwork may be less even. I don't want that. I want it to be smoother and more even. How can I do that? How can I develop that skill? Well, practice. All right, no, seriously. How can I develop that skill? What can I do to even out that step? Part of it is what we're doing right now, which is to slow it down. You slow it down as I'm moving more slowly. It's easier for me to spot where there are variations, where there is something that, yeah, that could be better. Then as I move more quickly, I also want to be able to do that, to look at what I'm doing that's different, and to spot the variations and to be able to work through it. The more even my movement, the more stable my movement, the more quickly I can move. Salute to the center, palm change 5. Not fast, slow. Yeah, more or less. Pay attention to stepping, pay attention to the breathing, pay attention to the pattern. 5, 6, 7, 8. Salute one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in And breathe out. Turn. And come around. Palm change 5. Little jump. Close. Palm change 6. Palm change 7. Palm change 8. Circle, close the foot, salute. Stay there, breathe, relax. Yeah, more or less. That placement, pattern, deliberate, and this is something I pointed out yesterday, and I'm going to talk about it again today. It's important as we're finishing up this series, to me it is, that I talk about the difference between deliberate effort, which is what we're doing, and reflex, the not automated, but the level of comfort that we get from having repeated something so many times. It's so familiar to us that it's really hard to do it wrong. There's some there are some things I have to stop and think about it if I'm going to do it wrong. I do. I've practiced it so many years that it's really hard to do it wrong. Okay? The shoulders, right? I know that's a problem. So I'm constantly paying attention to my shoulders. This is for me. Now, somebody else can have a problem sticking their chest out. Didn't have that so much. I tended to lean in as opposed to staying straight, right? Different issue. Everybody has something that they're going to pay attention to all the time. As we practice, we develop the skills to do that. Partly by repetition, partly by deliberately paying attention to whatever it is we're paying attention to. So when I'm deliberately paying attention to my movements, I need to. It's practice, right? When I'm doing that, it's visible. I can see it and paying attention to the movement. This is not a bad thing. In order to advance, we have to be able to go beyond paying attention to this particular physical movement. And we have to start paying attention to the dynamic of the movement, the direction of the movement, the pattern of the movement, and how we can use it. What we might do with it. What can I do with this? I can think of a couple of things that might have some application for. I can. I absolutely can. Alright, so what might I do with that? Is there something? How could I, if I was going to use it, how could I do that? What are the combinations of movement, energy, internal and external, as well as the direction of force, as well as can I generate any force from it, and what happens if I hit something? Because you have to count for that too. All of that comes together in that one movement. Just that little bit. When we're paying attention to how do I do this? Well, I got to take my hands and I'm going to move my arms here. I don't want to close my arms this way, but I do want to close my hands here. So close the hands to the heel of the hand and make kind of a cup so that the little fingers touch and the thumbs touch and the fingers are all open and the palms are open, but the heel of the hand and little fingers right here. So this goes up. Okay, and if the fingers are open a little bit, it's not picky. I'm going to be picky, so yeah, do it. What else is going on there? Is that all there is? Just make sure this is here, make sure this is here, and it goes up this way. No? But knowing how to, let me say this another way, but using the energy that goes with this move doesn't happen unless you know what this move is. I got to know what this is first. Now I can bring this in and I can connect it. What's this over here? Well, I need to bring that in too. Right? That process is part of our practice. What we want to end up with, and I'm going to, fingers crossed, I'm going to do my best to show this in just a second. What we want to end up with is movement that is fluid, natural, as perfect as possible, and complete. So nothing is left out. The idea that there's an application that's not left out, nothing that belongs in practice has been left out. And we're not really thinking about, I'm going to do this, 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 I'm going to do this. There's that litany. It's just, let's go for a ride. All right, palm changes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Deliberate. Paying attention to position, paying attention to each individual move. Stand straight. Smile. Salute the center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Not too fast. Breathe in. And turn. Palm change 5. Palm change 6. Palm change 7. Palm change 8. And close. Alright? This was deliberate. I was thinking quite a bit. A couple of places I just went with the form. But I was thinking quite a bit about the particulars of where I should step, what I was going to do next, what I was doing, here I am, this is where I need to be, where do I need to go, right? All of that placement, physical movement, here I am, here's what I'm doing. This time, I'm going to pay a bit more attention to the dynamic of the movement, how I'm moving around the circle. Less attention to each individual movement, even though each one will continue to be clear and distinct. And more attention to my breathing and the internal and external energy that I'm going to bring to all of the movements. 5 through 8. Relax the breath. Shoulders, oh yeah. Little tension in the shoulders for this one, yeah. Alright, get rid of that. Relax. 5 through 8. Okay? Not quite so deliberate as I've just been doing, but smooth, continuous, each movement distinct. Salute the center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Relax. Palm changes 5 through 8. Yeah. Couple of places could be quite a bit better. Palm change 7. Needs work. Spin. And the foot placement as I come around. Right? Here. Close. As I come down here. This needs to get better. Right? Step through. This is fine. This turn could be better. It's all right. Yeah. Right? What's going on with the turn? Some of it's me. I can blame the rug for some of it. I can blame my shoes for some of it. Not all of it. It's me. as I step up here, right? So this foot comes close, right here. This foot needs, look where I put my foot. Put my foot there. It needs to be over here. Really? Seriously. That much difference matters. So, step right, close left. Twist. Now I can turn. Now I can spin onto that foot. If I put it here, I can't get there. It doesn't work. And I keep doing that. More practice. And the way to do that, step right, close left, place the foot, turn, find that spot, and drop. And do it again. Don't lean forward. Keep the body straight as you drop. And as you set the foot, right here, no, yes, as you set the foot, make sure it's close enough to you. Okay? So don't reach out so far behind you that you can't get to it. I can't get to my foot from here. I can't. I can't turn and it ain't gonna happen. Alright? It's not. Where can I put my foot that I can transfer my weight into the spin? How far back? Part of that depends on my front leg, how much my front leg is bent. Part of it depends on how fast I'm moving, the dynamic of my movement, physical kinetic energy. And part of it depends on me, my body, my balance, my placement. All right, so no, yes. As I put the foot down, right, I'm a little too far. Pull it back in a little bit. As I put my foot down, right here, I need to be able to transfer my weight to my heel so I can spin. I can spin on my toe, but I don't end up in the right place. It doesn't work. I also don't end up with the energy or the strength in the spin that I need to have, that I want to have, that stability. Set the heel. Right, so I'm here, toe, set the heel. As I turn on the heel. All right? Bring the foot around. Yeah? I leaned forward and spun on my toe instead of the heel. I did. I didn't that time. It was much stronger, more stable, easier to manage the turn, and easier to manage the spin. Those combinations of things are part of what we want to cultivate in Bagua. How do we do this? How do we manage this? How do we work with that energy? How do we develop the skills to turn this way, to turn that way. I'm going this way, I'm going to do something, now I'm going to go back the other way, I'm going to do something. How do we develop those skills? We look at the small movements. We look at how the balance that we have, how the placement that we have, how the dynamic and the direction that we have affects whatever the movement is. Am I going this way? Am I going that way? All right. Palm changes 1 through 8 on the pattern. Not too fast. Not real slow, but not too fast either. Smile. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Salute. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Sink. Turn. Open. Palm change 1. And come around. Palm change 2. Palm change 3. Palm change 4. Palm change 5. Palm change 6. Palm change 7. And palm change 8. Center. Salute. Stay there and breathe. Relax. All right. I'm going to stop with this. Not perfect, but I'm going to take it. I talked about this for the last 3 days. There is always, 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 always room for improvement. There's always something we can do a little bit better, with a little bit more energy, with a bit more finesse. There's always something that we can improve. How we approach that, smile, how we approach that and how we reinforce our learning matters for our practice. If all you ever do is pick at this and pick nits and this was wrong and this was wrong and this was wrong, if that's all you ever do, if that's all you ever tell yourself, you'll grow tired of that. You will. When you do something well, did I do this? Yeah, did I do this? Yeah, yeah. Do I do this? Yeah, did that? Got that too. That litany list of check this. Did I get the breath right? Did I get my muscles in the right place? Did I get my body position in the right place? Was I in balance? Was I off balance? Was my timing correct? Was right? Long list, all of those things. Did I get it right? When you do, take credit for it. You had to work for it, take credit. Right? Give yourself the credit. Pay attention to that. Because that's what reinforces what you should do. All of the things, all of the mistakes, all of the corrections, all of the, I need to change this, I need to work on that, all of this over here, keep it. But pay attention to what you got right too. Because you want to build on that. Well, this was wrong. Well, yeah, but this was right. How much of this was right? Well, this is just a little thing. We'll fix it. And then it won't be a little thing over here anymore. The more we practice, the more we develop the skill to see what we're doing, to make changes, to refine that practice so that little by little we get better at what we're doing. Paying attention to what we're doing, we have to. Getting better, practice will give that to you. Compare what you did 6 months ago with what you can do today. What you can do today, if you've been practicing for 6 months, you can do a whole lot more today than you could do 6 months ago. And your understanding will have increased in ways that you may not have expected. That side benefit is something that I've enjoyed in my study and practice for 40-odd years. This concludes the series on Bagua. I said at the beginning, and I've said a couple of times, I have some additional material that I will post. I have some other recordings that I've already made, and I have some that I expect to make over the next couple of months to bring together concepts and the elements of practice that I've been talking about. This time slot, 7 a.m., Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, is going to be more of a review, general practice. We're going to look at some of the basic things that we do, the stretches from the beginning, some basic leg stretches, as well as some basic sets that I've learned over the years, as well as Wudang's 3 basic methods. So I'll be doing a little bit of review and a little bit of, I'm going to say, general body preparation. So some of the foundation work that I talk about, this is common to all of the internal arts. These are things we should pay attention to. I have a couple classes on that. After the beginning of the year, 2023, which is coming right up, we've only got about a month now. We'll be starting something new. I haven't completely decided what it's going to be yet, so I have 2 things that I have been considering. One is Wudang Dragon Sword, Wudang. The other is Wudang Taiji. I've also considered making some adjustments so that there is a little bit more philosophy that is included in some of these classes. I'm working on how to arrange and organize all of that. Thursday and Friday for the near term will remain Wudang Qigong. Foundation sets on Thursday, advanced sets on Friday. Tomorrow, foundation sets. I hope you'll join me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.